Hi, welcome back to the next video snippet from Bedagiskwedawajokzeloumsen, A Dragon's Journey. Today we're going to finish up chapter 4, and don't forget, you can buy a copy of the book if you like it. If you like listening to it, you'll like reading it even more, I promise. And I'll put a link underneath this posting so that you can get to it quickly. Here we go. Okay. If you're ready, we'll begin. Beda flew over more of Albanud, which was so covered with humans that the peninsula looked from aloft as though it was carrion covered with tiny, frantic scavenger insects. Even the once lonely and still wind-swept Cape Breton Island that juts into the North Atlantic like a foolish dare was covered more by houses than by boreal forest and bog. Leaving Albanud, the dragon winged its way over the too small and too rocky to be anything but still deserted St. Paul's Island, and then the rest of the Cabot Strait until it reached the southwest point of Newfoundland. At Point Rossi, that the Vikings had called Hook, on the southwest tip of Newfoundland, the Norsemen had built short-lived settlements almost 12 centuries ago. If an inquisitive investigator determined to dig a foot or so into the rocky bog, he or she might find the remnants of a hearth, turf walls, and maybe the corroded evidence of the iron ore that had been used by these seafaring settlers to make nails for their longships. Beda ignored the iron, but flew over the graves of the Karlsefni, his wife, and their son, the first European child born in the New World. The Ostman family had been cremated after they had been killed by savage Skrælings, their ashes buried in the turf along with the items that they loved in life and would use on the holy mountain of Egjefell, drinking and talking together around a warm hearth for eternity. Beda called the family's jewelry to it, offering the gold and silver work a new home in a dragon's beloved hoard. The dragon called to Karlsefni's silver-figured Mjolnir pendant that had never left the rawhide strap around the warrior's neck while he lived, the gold neck ring and arm rings of plated gold that had been given to him by his lord to mark Karlsefni's fealty, and the hilt of his Ulfbert sword with its intricately laid silver wire filigree. The dragon called to Gudrid's silver ringer-like brooch, her necklace of clear glass beads hung on golden wire, and her gold ring of twisted wire. The dragon called to Snorri's, their son's remains, and took the silver penannular brooch that the boy would never wear again. And then the dragon flew on to the north. At the northernmost tip of the island, the Anse-Amadou, that the Ostman once called Stromfjord, Beda found the grave of Thorvald, who had died from a Skræling arrow. Buried with the warrior's ashes was his gold-plated drinking horn and his golden Thor's hammer pendant, and nothing more. And then the dragon flew over the deep icy waters that roll between Labrador and Greenland's Isle. And just before Beda reached the rocky, snowy coast of Greenland, in the sea, just at the edge of the shallow shelf that rings the island, the dragon found the scuttled wreck of the German submarine U-501. Not much of the sunken U-boat would have ever been precious enough to interest a dragon except for the copper, and even though the copper wires of the sub's electrical systems had been tinned, the salt of the seawater had corroded the copper. So while the dragon noticed a few copper atoms that still stubbornly clung to the tin that once coated them, they were too slight for Beda to call to them. But in a little wooden box that was still nearly secure and safe in the captain's cabin lay das Deutsche Kreuz in gold, the German cross in gold, and a Spanienkreuz in silber, ohne Schwarze, the Spanish cross in silver without swords. These Beda called to itself. A useless iron cross first class the dragon left in the box. Finally the dragon reached Greenland. In the little town of Nanortalik, Beda flew over the white-painted wooden Danish Lutheran church with its wooden bell tower with its round clock face on the side that faced the harbor. Beda called to the church's silver paten and chalice, and feeling renewed and invigorated as its newest treasure came to it, flew east over the North Atlantic toward the rocky isle of Shetlands. And as the dragon flew through the night into the dawn, it sang, "You know I got 100 problems, but the humans ain't one. You got people problems. I feel bad for you, son. I got 100 problems, but people ain't one. Hit me." Now, once upon a time, a couple of days ago, a human and a woman tried to steal a D's gold. Beda out flying, you know he ain't lying, but the people out trying to get themselves dying by stealing the silver and grabbing the gold. You take what's the dragon's, you ain't a-getting older. A dragon like me just wants what he's got. With the gold and the silver, platinum, he got's a lot. I keep it in my cavern, stash it in my cave. If you want to step up, you're going to be dead. I'm feeling better by the ounce, better by the pound ever since I put them human thieves deep in the ground. I tried to ignore them, but couldn't you see? I melt the mountain on them as easy as can be. They screamed a little, cried a little, cursed a little, died a lot. I dropped a mountain on their heads like them rocks was hot. When the mountain came down on the top of their heads, they was live human beings until they was dead. You know the type, you know the kind. They say they don't care, they say they don't mind. Till you got something they want. They act so easy, they act nonchalant. They sneak up to your cave and when they think that you're gone, they don't want to keep it, just something to pawn. They'll take what's yours, they'll take what you love, but they won't ever take what you want to get rid of. I didn't have to flee, didn't have to fly, I didn't have to run away, but they had to die. I go back when I'm through, done with my trip. I'll still be cool, I'll be most hip. 'Cause I got 100 problems, but the humans ain't one. You got people problems, I feel bad for you, son. I got 100 problems, but people ain't one.